Hi, Brian. Thanks for having me over. Hi, everyone. My name is Neeti Gupta. I have been running partnerships for over 20 years. Currently, I am with VMware as the head of hyperscalers focused on Microsoft relationship for VMware. I have a small team of business development and alliances team. We manage and navigate the large company called Microsoft. Before that, I was at Meta, Facebook, also managing Silicon Valley partnerships for them, including some of these public cloud vendors. Before that, I was at GE Healthcare, where I built a partner program from ground up for them and managed the Microsoft relationship as well. And before that, I was at Microsoft for 10 years. And I think at some point I realized that I could actually be managing Microsoft and build a career for myself. And that's what I've been doing. So thank you again for having me over, Ryan.
Many companies are experienced in the partner ecosystem world. They know what partners are. They're very clear with it. And then there are some companies that have no concept of what a partner really is because they have the customer vendor relationship so ingrained in their minds. Can you tell us about a time when you went into a company and just how do you explain to a company that doesn't understand what a partnership is, what a partnership is?
Yeah, I think let me tell you of a time. So in 2016, I left Microsoft to go work for a large Fortune 100, I would say, healthcare company. And, I still remember walking into my first meeting where my boss at the time, a really great guy, who said, Neeti, I would like you to go present to this team of senior leaders and tell them what a partner is. And here I was just coming from Microsoft where, whatever Microsoft does is partner centric because that's their business model. And now I had to kind of flip around and talk to a group of really senior execs and tell them what a partner is. And, I had a few hours to put that presentation together. And I said, well, how would I explain the term partner to a company that has mostly been selling directly to the customer? And the relationships and the value chain and the connections that they need to build with the ecosystem may vary depending on how we build out the value chain for the different types of partners. And again, this was my introduction to this group. They've never met me, and I can't go and give them the whole jargon about, hey, there's a distributor, there's a reseller, there's an independent software vendor and system integrator. I think that jargon would have just kind of, I wouldn't have been able to build any rapport with them. And I knew going in that the terminology will be confusing. So I really went back to a simple concept of being married. And then I talked about what does it mean when two independent individuals come together and are married. And I asked that question to this group because it was an in-person event before COVID. So I said, what are the dimensions of in this country or anywhere in the world when two people come together, and what is involved in that? So obviously some people said family, some people said legal agreement, and then some people said, yeah, it can vary, they could be in types. And so we really had fun. I explored that idea with them and then kind of pulled it back and said, yeah, so some of the principles are similar in a partnership. We have to have a legal agreement. That legal agreement is what separates being married to not being married, right? And so when you have a relationship with another company, and that is not this large, your company, do you have legal agreements with them? And what kind of legal agreements do you have with them? And then we kind of talked about types of agreements we could have. And that was kind of an introduction into how we could resell their products, they could resell our products. We could actually build on their platform, or they could build on our platform. We could aggregate their solution with others and sell it to the customer. And really, I took that customer perspective, because which was what they were familiar with,
Right.
and worked backwards from that to kind of talk about the value we could provide to the customer, and then hence provide value to the business. So that was kind of my very simplistic way of explaining what a partner was for. And I learned myself in explaining that, because as I said, I'd never had to explain the term partner to anyone. And if you do a Bing or a Google search or look at Wikipedia, you'll get various definitions of that. In fact, the most confusing term is the word partner, right? And also the terms, the vocabulary that we have come up with over the years is actually applied to on-prem software. As the solutions have become SaaS, right? So software as service, the definitions may change as well. So ecosystem, I believe, is a better kind of way to talk about the partnerships now, because it is definitely this interconnectedness of these various companies and the business dependencies and the interdependencies on each other. And that also allows us to be more creative with our agreements and break some of the molds that even in this partnerships world, we've learned to define partners as. So I think I'll pause at that, but that was kind of really how I learned how to talk about partners to an audience that is usually has not thought about partners in the same comprehensive way in which we people in the partnerships world have learned to do that.
I love it. Thank you.